Was goody, y'all. So with it, I got today another episode coming from Burnout Nation. It's the mass layoffs. It's still happening. So with that, I ain't even gonna hold you. I'm gonna jump straight into it. All right. Much love and appreciate it. Big up. Oh, by the way, I'm gonna be playing aethermancer. You'll see it on the screen. Much love and appreciate it. Dipset.
So I randomly just got laid off, like out of nowhere. I was killing it and they told me that. I just signed a lease to move closer to work the day before. This company made you care so much. I was so emotionally invested that like it feels like a heartbreak. The most similar feeling I felt like before was like getting cheated on because it's so out of nowhere and it's so abrupt. It just fucking hurts. My whole life was that job, my entire life. It was just taken from me. I know that your job shouldn't be your life and that's a big lesson I'm learning, but like fuck, how do I like get over this feeling of like betrayal and heartbreak?
Like and subscribe, bro. It's only gonna get more interesting.
I'm a little embarrassed to talk about this, but it's going to be relatable, and so you're not alone, okay? So I spoke way too soon. The job market is horrible. I'm definitely not going to have a
Facts.
full-time job in 30 days of being laid off. That was a joke. But like, for example, I had 6 people refer me into a role at OpenAI that I was a perfect fit for. I like worked on my resume. I had my recruiting friends look at it. I had ChatGPT look at my resume. Like I was so excited. I've done this exact role at like a massive company that has been super successful in the marketing space. Still rejected from OpenAI with 6 referrals and the exact experience that that job description was looking for. And that
That's
keeps
crazy.
happening to me at all of these companies. And I've worked at some of the best companies. I've worked at Meta, BCG. Like I have early stage startup experience. I have everything a company would want. I've been promoted throughout my career. Literally have been a top performer at every place I've ever been at. And I just keep getting rejected left and right. And it's almost comical at this point. But I'm actually stressed that I'm going to have to move out of my apartment in New York because my rent is like $5,500 a month. And
God,
I'm stressed. I'm stressed. So if
55,
anybody has any words of
5,500.
encouragement, let me know because this girl is just down in the dumps.
Hope I can beat this
So
dude.
AI is getting ready to take your job, and you probably don't know it yet. So if you're blue collar, you think I'm fine. So yesterday, if you don't know, Oracle laid off 30,000 people in one fell swoop with an email. And I know you might call me out on this. You might say, well, 18,000, it was only 18,000 in the U.S. Like, that's 18,000 families. Next week, Facebook's, I think, believe looking at 15,000. Intel's looking at over 20,000 laying off. And you might think, well, I'm blue collar. I cut grass. I'm a plumber. If you cut grass, those 50,000 people no longer have shit to do. Like, those are the people paying big money to have their grass cut because they have these big white collar jobs at Oracle, Intel, Facebook, Target, UPS. They're going to be cutting their own damn grass because they don't got no money. They don't need you anymore. So the trickle down effect of this is going to be massive. And when AI starts taking a lot of these bigger jobs that people go to school for, that's going to affect colleges and professors. And colleges are going to have less people attending because they're not going to need those people. AI is doing it. So I don't know. Let me know what you think. But I think this AI thing that people are like, oh, it's only going to take away white collar and CEO type jobs. Yeah, and those people can't pay us blue collar people. So an universal income, when's that going to come? And if they lay off millions of people and they get universal income, are you going to want to go dig a ditch while someone's getting free money from the government while you're out there digging a ditch? I don't think so. This is going to be a massive, massive wreck to the economy. Bernie Sanders just talked about this, and he's like, you all don't know what's coming. He said this to on the floor, saying to everyone, you don't know what's coming. You guys need to look into this. Yeah, why aren't they
Facts.
looking into it? They should have already been looking into it. Have a great day. Good luck keeping your job. I hope I do.
So I lost my job today. And what I find frustrating is I called my dad to let him know that I lost my job. And you know what happened? Instead of him saying, "Oh, I'm sorry, sweetheart," what does he say? "So now you can purchase that item I need you to buy for me and your brother so that we can start making money and we can help." Bruh, no. For a year, my dad's been trying to get me to purchase a machine thing that costs like 4Gs. He wants me to put it on my credit card because they don't have the money. And he's like, we're going to make all this money if we just have this machine. No. I called you for comfort, and all you can think about is making money. I lost my job today, and you want me to charge up money so that you can make money? And I don't know how I'm going to pay that charge? Child, get out of here. So my answer to your request, Dad, is no.
It's even getting so bad that your own father trying to find a quick fix to gain more money without a job. Not what I'm expecting.
Woo, this dude putting in some work. God damn, reset action terror. Shite. Muslim. Uh-oh.
Yeah, we are in
Oh snap, we trying to take him out.
so we are being let go, and today is our last day at my daytime job. In this economy, like, it's fucked up. These folks find us and rent due tomorrow.
We could have given you sooner notice. Your operations team is really well with communicating to you when they receive the information.
I am personally proud to say that each one of you was a member of my team. Sure, everything is accurate, everything is up to date. Update you on everything we just went through. Thank you all.
I have a sync on my calendar in 3 minutes. I'm getting laid off. I saw who it's with. Layoffs are going on right now. I can't breathe. Like, I'm kind of excited because I fucking hate my job, but also I don't have a job now, and I literally just quit my other job. So now I have no income. This is the universe saying, bitch, we told you to quit your fucking, both your jobs. You did not need one. Like, you need to figure your shit out. Holy fuck, I can't. I'm gonna record it, but like, I'm shaky.
I should have healed before I defeated him.
I made it 2.5 years. I've survived like over 8 rounds of layoffs, maybe even 10 at this point. It's just happening. I was talking to my dad on the phone, and I was like, people are getting laid off. And he goes, do you think you are? And I go, I checked my calendar, like, I'm safe, I'm good. And as I'm talking to him, a fucking meeting pops up on my calendar. I literally can't breathe. Fuck this place! I fucking hate these hoes! I hate these hoes so much. I'm in the meeting. I'm so nervous.
Whew.
My face is so red. My audio on my laptop cut it out. But basically they're giving me 2 weeks severance. They're paying me through the end of the day. Fuck off.
Fuck off.
Yeah, I'm laid off. That's about it. I'm like so red. I have high. Oh my god. That's my body right now. Girl, are you okay? Fully, I'm having a panic attack. Wait, what the fuck? I literally just got laid off. It's fine. I have backup plans, so I'm not worried, but that's just crazy. It's just crazy. Yay. But fuck, I don't know. I don't know how to feel. I hate my life. I love my life. I hate my life. I don't know what to do. This is insane.
The fact that the job market has turned into a humiliation ritual over the past, several years is one of, if not the worst parts of corporate America and capitalism in general.
This is
the fact that you have
America.
to send hundreds of applications out there. You reach out to recruiters, you message people, you get ghosted. People tell you all these great things about how great of an interview you had. You feel like you're vibing with a recruiter, you're vibing with a hiring manager, and then all of a sudden you don't hear anything. Or
zip ziddle nada.
You wait 3 weeks or so because you thought you had a great interview, but really you're just being put on their bench, and they had already offered to someone else, and they're waiting to see if that person offered. So if they didn't take the offer, now they can maybe come back to you. But if the roles were reversed, then you would be X'd out as a candidate and probably deemed as unhireable. And it's crazy too because the Stanford prison experiment where when you give people a modicum of power, how much they abuse it. And that's what it feels like in some of the interviews where people talk at you and talk down to you and have zero idea really of what's going on right now. And because they have a job and in a lot of situations the other person doesn't, they feel like they have all the leverage and power to just be a dick, to pick apart their resume or their experience, or to treat the interview some sort of psychological warfare. It's God, this is a fucking job interview, guys. We're not trying to save the fucking world. We're just trying to be employed to have enough money to survive. It's literally it. Why are we treating this shit like it's that important? I saw some recruiter, and it's LinkedIn and everybody's being performative, but she was saying how she had posted a job, and after 24 hours, only one person of the hundreds and thousands that applied reached out to her, and because they reached out to her, that person got the job. But here's the thing: if you're mass applying, and I get it, I would always tell people to message people on LinkedIn to try to connect because I really think it's important. But the fact that there's such a double standard where some people get mad at you for reaching out and others don't, it's like, how do you navigate this fucking landmine? And I understand why people get so frustrated, because it's like, I can't win. I'm damned if I do and I'm damned if I don't, and I'm still getting fucked either way.
A lot of people be going through the same circuits with no reward. They tell their friends and families about their struggles to get a job, just to be told to do it again.
Facts.
All right, it's 10 a.m. It's time for my meeting. Let's go.
Good morning. I've invited as I have important information to share with you about a reduction in force within the Solutions Engineering Organization. As it continues to evolve, we need to adjust our organizational structure and priorities accordingly. So, unfortunately, we've made the difficult decision to eliminate certain positions in the United States to meet our objectives for FY27. This meeting is to inform you that your position is being eliminated. This was a very tough decision to make, and it was considered very carefully at the highest levels of leadership. You will lose system access after this meeting today, so please do not be surprised and work with your manager.
See that right there? So I'm in tech, and that's something that I'm worried about. To get a call or a message stating that, hey, your position is being terminated. That's something I'm worried about. However, with me being in tech, I've also heard and learned that being in tech, you need to prepare and be aware that you're going to get laid off at least 2 to 3 times within a. If you don't, a correction. What she told me was, if you haven't been laid off 2 to 3 times in the tech field, you're lucky. So with that, that's something that I'm worried about. What's good, Jay? How you doing, homie? Welcome in. I'm doing a live right now. Yo, what's good, homie? Talk to me, player. Talk to me. Talk to me. So yeah, that's something I'm worried about, being in the tech field.
Manager to transition any client meetings. Your specific exit date will be communicated to you through a follow-up email. As timelines
Nice.
based on your specific role.
Getting swole.
Please note, all system access will be deactivated today, regardless of your final employment date. We do not anticipate needing to reach out, but we ask that you remain reachable via cell for your exit date to answer questions we may have.
What you work today?
This is a lot to process, and we want you to take this time to focus on what's next for you. We are providing severance pay and outplacement services to help you with this transition. I recognize this change is a lot to absorb. Please know that I'm here for follow-up conversations as you process through what this means for you. And I truly appreciate all your contributions this far.
Bro, don't nobody want to talk to you? Talk about I'm here for you. You here for me? Well, give me my goddamn job.
After 9 years
Biatch?
with the same company.
Oh.
No, hardly any sick days. No vacation days. I never took a single vacation in the 9 years that I worked for them. No more than a few days off, a long weekend here and there. No real warning. Not so much as a handshake. Just a phone call. Hey, your services are no longer needed.
That's what's up.
So I worked for a large,
still small as shit,
contractor here locally, and have for years. I've done.
You ain't on that Tookie status yet?
Everything that they've ever asked me to do.
God, everything
every
is
little
level 5.
Crappy job.
I got 3,
every
4,
big
3.
job.
God,
every hour of overtime. Every single thing. And the day before it happened, actually, I went to a meeting at our shop, and they were going on about how there's so many people that are sitting at home not working right now, but you guys are here because you're professionals.
Yo, respect. Thanks for the hearts, King.
You guys are here because you're the best of the best, and you're like
Thank you, Jay. Much love and appreciate it.
And for a split second there, I actually bought it. I actually thought, this is a great company. I'm gonna be around here a long time. I'll probably retire out of this company. And that's how they get you. They want you to feel like that.
Game just froze.
So you increase your output. You get motivated, and you do more and more and more, and so you can feel important. And then when it benefits them and it helps their bottom line, they call you up, say, hey, you're done.
While people out here getting laid off every day, you got billionaires talking about you about to need 3 jobs soon.
Facts.
Let me know how y'all feel about this. Till next time.
Big facts. And that's something that always bothered me. The fact that billionaires, millionaires, trillionaires, they don't care about you. For them, it's just all right, cool. They're constantly bringing in revenue. They don't think about what layoffs do to the people who are working those positions. For example, right now, a lot of companies are incorporating AI into the things that they do, especially in tech firms. They're incorporating AI into what it is that they do. They feel that AI can handle a lot of the minuscule tasks. So, for example, things like call center jobs, most likely going to become AI. Things to where it's just typing a lot of things, AI. There's a lot of jobs in the tech field that are about to become AI. There are, I've seen it and witnessed it personally. I actually had one of the web developers show me how they have an AI program that is takes the job of about 10 people. So now he's the only person on that project, and he's working with 10 AIs, to where he correlates with those 10 AIs to solve issues or develop programming for these webs according to what it is that the client wants. He was all excited, but in my mind I was thinking about how he possibly will be next. However, when it comes down to it as well, you got to think about it. There always needs to be some human oversight to make sure that the things are going how they're supposed to be going. So it makes me wonder, the individuals who are in like the senior management positions, are they going to be the ones that stay there to oversee and make sure that everything is happening correctly with AI? I wonder. Dun dun dun. Other than that, a lot of people are going to get laid off. There's a project with the company I work with, and I'm curious to know how that's going to work out, due to the fact that within a matter of 6 months, when I was on that project, I was bored out of my mind because the technical skills that I have, I was solving problems like this, and then it was at the point where I was a level 1 helping level 2 and level 3. So, and that was just based off of things that I know. With AI coming through, AI will most likely be able to do that position, the level 1 position, to where you may need people for level 2, level 3. And it makes me question how many people are going to end up getting laid off, because as I stated before, my company's pushing AI hard. Pushing AI really hard. But there's a lot of people that are getting laid off left and right. The billionaires, the individuals who are making 120,000 a year plus, when they lose their job, because a lot of their things are just fly out to different places, check on places, check the stats, run the numbers. AI can do that. Check the stats, run the numbers, think of what they can do differently. Because let's be real, a lot of these individuals who are higher in corporate, they create a bunch of protocols and SOPs, not without actually knowing how it works on the lower. And with that, them not knowing how it works on the lower, they don't think about nor care about individuals and them getting laid off, the bills that they have to pay, the families that they're taking care of. Everything is just a number to them. And then to make matters worse, there's a lot of individuals who are older who get laid off, so that way they can open that position and pay the person coming in a whole lot less. Because if you think about it, majority of the country, in America at least, that's all I can really speak on, they get paid damn near minimum wage. They can barely afford to live. America has become a third world country. So with that, what ends up happening is these individuals When they're used to making around $15 an hour, and then they end up getting a new position being told that they're going to make 45,000 a year salary. They're like, "Oh shit, 45,000." Not taking into consideration that that's about like what, 21.35, 21.50 an hour. Okay, yeah, you may have got like a $6 raise, but it's still really not enough. So they throw these salaries at you to make it seem like it's something greater than it is, because you hear the big number and you're like, "Oh, snap." But yet you're unaware that the individual who was working that position before was probably making around like 60, 70,000 before. They laid that person off and now they're hiring you at a much lower price. But due to the fact that it's more than what you're used to, because majority of the country is making damn near nothing, pennies, and they're making shrimp and grits for pay. You feel like you have got an upgrade while the company is getting the same amount of work out of you for less. It's crazy how they do this, but hey, if you like that and you want to see more of me, go ahead, like, comment, and subscribe. There we go. But I want to jump into another video. And the video that I want to jump into, it's going to be a longer one. It's a TikToksy one. Let me see. I think it was like TikToksy. I might have spelled that wrong. Yeah. There we go. It was a glitch in the matrix. Yeah, let's check this out, bruh.
I fell back to sleep after I woke up to go to my morning workout, right?
So I want to see what's cracking with this, all right? Once again, getting back into it. You know how we do. There we go.
Guys, we are in a simulation and I just got proof. And I don't usually do videos like this, but I literally just got proof. I can't even talk. This just happened right now and I'm going to show you proof. My heart is beating a million miles a minute. Okay, so I just finished breakfast, right? Mind you, I'm sitting here by myself and I fell back to sleep after I woke up to go to my morning workout, right? And as I'm eating breakfast, I'm thinking to myself, dude, why was I so exhausted? I went to bed at a decent time for me not to be that exhausted. Why did I fall back asleep? So, it's late morning now. Like, I wanted to get up, be up by 5:30, 6 o'clock. Then it dawned on me, oh, that's right. We just added a medication to my regimen to help with anxiety.
What the hell is that?
It's a very low dose. And I remember that I took it around 9 p.m., around 9, 10 p.m. And I thought to myself, that might be what it is, right? That I'm taking it too late. So it's like, it's making me groggy or it's making me tired. Even though it's not, anyways, that's the point. So I go, let me put a reminder for earlier in the evening to take it, okay? Guys, I'm gonna show you proof of this. So I'm sitting here eating breakfast, watching videos, right? And I go, hey, you know her name? I go, set a daily alarm for 7 p.m. That's all I say, right? She comes back and says to me, and I'm going to show you the proof. She says, a 7 p.m. alarm for your anxiety pill has been set. I didn't say what the alarm was for. I didn't even say it out loud. This is all an internal dialogue that I was having. No one is here. I'm going to freaking show you, because the thing came up at the top. Look. So like I said, I was watching videos. So I was watching this lady's video about, the gossip, whatever. And look what it says. Look at that. Now, look at how, and one could say, you Photoshop that. Watch this. So this photo, for some reason, I had to crop it because when it's big, you can't see the top.
Well, watch it.
Look at the Siri bubble right here. Because she just spoke it to me. I have never been one to really feed into those type of things. But if that isn't proof that we're in a simulation, if that isn't proof that these things are reading our minds, that just blew my mind. I don't know.
Hey Siri. Hey Siri. Set a daily alarm for
7 p.m.
I turned on your anxiety fueled PM alarm at 7 p.m. starting today.
Well then, you did not just fucking. Yo, I thought I just staggered him.
Welcome and welcome back to my channel. Today's topic is one
What up,
that will seriously
TikToksy?
mess with your mind. Those moments that...
Oh, I just thought about that. I need to hold up real quick, bruh. I need to let me go do this real quick. I gotta get TikToksy in here. We gotta do this right. Cause if I'm gonna be doing this, I gotta give credit to the individual, right? Yeah. So let's get TikToksy in this bad boy. Damn, so many fucking people. Or not people, what is it called? Followers. Cheese and bread. I gotta give credit to TikToksy. So give me 1 second. I need to adjust this correctly. You feel me? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Ah. Where the fuck I put this thing now, buddy? There we go. There we go. Double up. It's time for the percolator. It's time for the percolator. Yeah. There we go. You like that shit, don't you, girl? I might have to cut that off some. There we go. Baby, baby.
I fell back to sleep after I woke up to go to my morning workout, right? And as I'm eating breakfast, I'm thinking to myself, dude, why was I so exhausted? I went to bed at a normal...
Others believe it's something deeper, like we're living in a simulation and sometimes it glitches. Think about it. How many times have you had deja vu so strong it felt like you already lived that exact moment before? Or those weird situations where time feels off, sorry, like everything slows down or speeds up for no reason.
I forgot what I was
doing. It sounds
doing.
crazy until it happens to you. Let's watch the stories.
Imagine being at work and seeing something so crazy happen on a security camera, so crazy to the point that you still can't wrap your head around what happened. Well, that's exactly what happened to this Reddit user. So let's go down the rabbit hole and talk about it.
Now this is a story all about how.
So there's a nice security guard who posted on Reddit after something happened during his shift. He said that 3 a.m. one of the alarms went off in an empty hallway. So he did what he normally does. He pulled up the footage to see what was going on. At first, everything looked normal. Empty hallway, no movement. And then suddenly, someone walks into the frame. He leans closer because this person looks familiar. It's the same walk, same uniform, same face. It's literally him walking down the hallway. But the problem is, he's sitting in the security office watching it happen at the same time. He said his first thought was, it's gotta be old footage, so he pulls it up and checks the timestamp, and it says that it's live. The version of him on camera keeps walking slow, calm, steady, like it knows exactly where it's going. Then it stops right in the middle of the hallway, slowly turns directly towards the camera, like it knows it's being watched, like it knows he's watching. And then it raises its hand and waves. He said he froze because he couldn't even process what he was looking at, and then the screen glitches just for a second. And when it comes back, the hallway is empty again, like nobody's there, like it never happened. So the next morning, he reports what happened the night before. But HR told him something that made it worse. They said, there's no footage of anything happening around that time. Actually, there's no footage at all from that hour. He ended his post with,
I don't check that hallway no more. But if you saw yourself on camera like that, would you go inspect it, or would you just let whatever it was do what it did?
Excuse the hot mess.
It gonna do what it do, baby. Leave that shit alone.
While I was waiting for it to do its thing, I would go ahead and do my thing. Okay, so as she says in the beginning, we were going to Florida for my uncle's funeral. He's like a grandfather to me, and it was me, my 2 younger brothers, my younger sister, and my brother's wife, my sister-in-law, Khadijah. And we all decided to take my car. I have the biggest SUV. We're all just going to go together because at the time we all lived in the same state. So we all go down there. This is Friday night. We drive down there. Saturday, we do like the wake, the whole family thing, all that good stuff. Sunday morning was the actual funeral. We actually buried him. And so, after the funeral, everybody goes to my aunt's house, and we're all gonna have lunch, or whatever. We figure, well, we'll leave at 2:00 in the afternoon. That way, we have a 10-hour drive back home. That way, when we get home, it won't be too late, and we have to be at work on Monday, so all of us be at work. So we're like, okay, so we'll just, we'll leave about 2:00. But we were having so much fun being with our family members. We haven't seen in a really long time, and just fun sharing stories and having a good time that we didn't want to leave. So we decided that we were going to just stay a little bit later, and we ended up staying till 5:00 in the afternoon, which means we were going to get home. It's really, really late, which means I was going to go to work with zero sleep on me. So we are driving. I'm doing the first part of the driving, and we're driving for about 5 hours. So we were right outside of Tifton off 75 heading north, and it was probably a mile or 2 past the Tifton exits. And I'm like, I really, really got to. I've been holding it.
It would not let me run.
I'm like, I can't hold it any longer. We're going to stop. I'm going to go to the bathroom. They're like, yeah, we got to pee too. Let's stop. We'll get some snacks. We'll go ahead and fill up. I got half tank of gas. I'll go ahead and just fill up, and that'll get us all the way home. We won't have to stop again. So
are you sure?
We get off this exit, and it's just this little no-name exit, dark exit or whatever, and we get off, and we're driving. And we're driving for 15, 20 minutes or so. And nothing. There's nothing on this road. It's a straight stretch of road. Okay? Nothing. Flat, no hills, nothing. Straight stretch of road. Tons and tons of trees on each side. No street lights. We didn't see any other cars. But, I'm thinking, okay, it's 8 o'clock at night on a Sunday. People are at home in bed already. They got to be at work on Monday like we do. So I didn't think anything at the time. I didn't think anything weird about it. So after a while, I see the lights of a gas station. So I pull up, I jump out of the car, I run in the gas station, make my way to the bathroom, do my business, and I'm like, oh, finally. And I open the door, and my brothers and my sister and sister-in-law are standing there, and they're looking at me. They're like they look scared. They look really scared. And I'm like, yeah. Okay. Well, my sister pushes past me and runs to the bathroom. It's a one-stall bathroom, that's a one-toilet bathroom. And my brother...
Headphones on, can't hear anything. Wife comes and just puts something in my face. I'm glad I realized it was her, but now my neck hurts from how hard I had to stop myself from hitting her in the stomach. Oh my goodness. She knows better. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Ow. Cheese and bread. Love you, babe, but god damn. Don't do shit like that. Fuck. Tap me on my shoulder or something. Don't just and I'm watching creepy TikTok bullshit. Jump scare at its freaking finest. Come on.
Looks at me, and he's kind of doing the look, but he's not saying it. It's almost like he's afraid to say anything. And I'm like, okay. So I look over, and that's when I see the gentleman behind the counter. So this guy...
That's at 7 o'clock every Sunday, baby girl.
Staring straight ahead. He's staring straight ahead.
In about 45 minutes. All right.
No movement, no eye blinking, nothing.
You got anything
But it
else?
wasn't like he was looking at us. Right. It was like he was looking through us, past us. But it was very weird. Everything about him was every bell and whistle, red flag was going off. This isn't right. There is something wrong. And I remember my stomach dropping. And I'm like, okay, we're four Puerto Ricans and one Mexican kid. We're in the
4 Puerto
backwoods
Ricans
of
and a
southern
Mexican.
Georgia. Like, maybe he's a racist, or like, you know, it was just something felt off. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna ignore him. And my brother is just intently like staring at this man. And I'm like, okay, like, dude, like, stop looking at him. Like, just like, don't piss this guy off, please. So I start looking around the store, calling the guys, I'll grab some, and that's when I start noticing like the environment we're in. And like it was like really dimly lit, like the dim yellow fluorescent lights. Oh God, I'm getting like so sick about this. And it was just, the air was just thick, like it just didn't feel right. And that's what I started like noticing, like even the smells, like, it smelled old and moldy, and it just was a very stale smell in the air. And that's when I noticed like the coolers like were like the cooler lights were like blinking off and on. And the glass was dirty and nasty, and I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna get a drink like that. So I started going on the aisles, and I'm like, there's brands of things I've never seen before, just like really like old like brands I did know, but like old labels, like old labels, and everything was covered in dust. And I was like,
this dude doing a lot right
this is not.
now.
And so at this point, I'm thinking, okay, this is weird. Like I'm starting to freak out at this point. And I didn't think to look at expiration dates or anything like that. Like that was like the last thing on my mind. So I go back over to my brothers and sister-in-law were, and my sister comes out of the bathroom. I grab her hand, and all five of us just bolt to the car. Like, no, we didn't buy anything. We didn't get gas. Like we got in the car, and we bolted. I peeled out of this gas station. Like rubber burning, like I'm getting out of here, and I'm going in the direction I know for a fact is the way we came. We made a left-hand turn into the gas station, so I made a right-hand turn out of the gas station to go back to the highway. And so I know I was going in the right direction. So everybody's like, what was that? What was that? Like everybody's freaking out. I'm thinking, okay, like that was weird. Like, you know, I don't know. Maybe it's a really old gas station. Like I don't know, but like my brain is trying to come up with every logical explanation for what happened, like everything, and I just can't. Like this is just weird. So we're driving about 15, 20 minutes, and I'm like, okay, we should have been at the highway by now. Like this is just something's not right. And then all of a sudden we see gas station lights again. I see the same sign, and I'm like, what the hell? So I slow down, and I'm looking out the window because the gas station's to my left. And I'm looking out my window, and the man is now looking out the window, and he's just staring. And again, it felt like he wasn't like looking at us. It was like he was looking through us, past us. I don't know how to explain it. It was really freaky. So my brother, go! So I hit the gas. We're flying down the road. Another 15, 20 minutes goes by. And I'm like, okay, like, what the hell? Like, I must have gone off of a fork or something, but there was no turns. There was no roads. This was a straight shot road. Like, there was nothing. So, and I'm like, so I'm being like extra careful, making sure like I don't make an accidental turn I didn't see. I'm going straight. My wheel is like, I don't turn it at all. So there 15, 20 minutes goes by. And like, I see the sign for the gas station, but this time it's turned off. So again, I'm like, okay, there's something. So I slow down, and that's when I realized that the gas station was the same gas station, but it was all boarded up, like ivy, and like half the roof was caved in, and it looked like it had been abandoned for like 20, 30 years at this point. And I remember thinking, like, at this point, I'm confused, I'm scared, I'm freaking out. You know, zero cell phone service, you know, no GPS on the phones back then, so we didn't have that. So I'm like, okay, like, this is just wrong on so many levels. So my brother starts freaking out. I hit the gas again, and within 3 to 5 minutes, we're back at the highway. I have no idea what happened. And My brother, who lives in Texas now, actually came to visit me a couple of days ago, and we were actually just talking about this. We talk about this frequently, and none of us know what happened. We were all scared out of our minds, and to this day, I still have not been able to find that gas station. I've looked for it, still can't find it, can't find the exit, no clue what happened. All I know is I was very, very scared.
Okay, I have to talk fast because I have to fit this all into one video, and this is going to be weird. It's been 37 years in the making, and I need to know what it
37
okay?
years.
For 37
Jeez,
years,
bread.
there has been a person who has existed on the periphery of my life. I don't know if he's a non-playable character. I don't know what he is, but this is the story of me and this boy. We'll call him Steve. I start preschool when I'm 3 years old. I go to preschool. There's this boy in my class named Steve. We go to preschool together. In kindergarten, we go to kindergarten together. Okay, it's not that weird. There's multiple kindergartens in this town, in the city that we lived in. It wasn't that strange, right, to end up at the same kindergarten. We're in the same class in kindergarten, first and second grade, but something happens in second grade. Okay, in second grade, my family moved from New York to Michigan. We moved away. I was a new kid in second grade. I start my new class. A couple months later, in my new second grade class in a new state, my teacher says, "Hey kids, we're getting a new kid. Guess who the kid is? Guess who it is? It's Steve." Steve comes walking in. I'm like, weird, Steve. Did your family move here too? He's like, yep, sure did. Weird. So in second, third, and fourth grade, we're in the same class. In fifth grade, my parents switched houses in the same town that we lived in, but it was a big city, so we had to switch schools again. Thanks for that, Mom and Dad. So I'm a new kid, right, in fifth grade, starting on the first day, and my teacher's like, hey, there's another kid who also went to your old school. He's in the other class. Guess who it is? It's Steve. It's Steve again. Switched schools with me, again. In seventh grade, after we had been to the same middle school together as well, we moved back to New York, to a different town than we originally lived in, okay? And I start there, and we moved in the middle of the year again. Thanks, Mom, Dad. And so it's like November, I moved there. In May of that year, our teacher's like, hey, we have a new kid shadowing. He's also from Michigan, where you just came from. Guess who it is? It's freaking Steve. It's Steve again. His family also moved back to New York, to the same weird random town that we lived in. Okay, now's where the weird coincidences come. We go off to college. In 2004, I'm studying abroad my junior year in Madrid. It was 2004, so the Yankees and Red Sox World Series things happening. There was a sports bar in Madrid that aired all of the games for Americans. I had my bucket of Corona in front of me because, of course, Americans. And in walks Steve to this bar. Steve came into this bar to also watch the Yankees and the Red Sox. He wasn't studying abroad in Madrid. He was studying abroad in London, right? Weird. He ended up at the same bar. We can explain that away. Again, Steve and I, not friends, not enemies. We just coexist. In December of that same year, my friends and I, who were studying in Madrid, decided to go to Prague to see Prague at Christmas time. We're supposed to go on a pub crawl. We missed that pub crawl. We decided to go on our own pub crawl. We end up in a random Irish pub in the middle of Prague. Who's there? Who's there sitting at a table? Steve. Steve's sitting at a table. He also went to Prague at Christmas time, and we happened to be at the same bar at the same time. Now, this morning I'm in the copy room at work. I have a coworker who's talking about her fiance. I'm not friends with this girl. I barely know this girl. She mentions, oh, my fiance's Steve. And I go, excuse me, what's your fiance's last name? I felt like Brad Pitt with the box. What's in the box? What's in the box? What's his last name? Guess who it is? Guess who it is? It's Steve. It's the same Steve. What does it mean? What is...
Okay, so I have a Matrix story. It's crazy.
It sounds like Steve want to be around you for a reason.
We made plans for him to come over one evening because my daughter was going to be away at a friend's house. She was going to stay the night at her friend's, and it was just me and my daughter. So I'm going to be home alone. I make these plans. I'm like, whatever, come over at whatever time. And before he got there, I wanted to take a quick bath. So I'm in the bathtub. He texts that he's going to be there in 5-10 minutes. So I'm like, okay, I got to make it quick, whatever. So I'm in the bathtub, and I hear his truck, on the road in front of my house, and I literally hear it pull in the driveway. There was, my driveway was gravel, so, I hear him pull in, right? And then I hear my door open. Now, I had left it unlocked, but I, closed it. So in order to open it, you literally have to turn the handle and push it. So anyway, I hear that happen. I hear the door handle turn. It even had a noise. I don't know, it was just an old door noise. And I hear the noise of the doorknob turning and the door push open. But then I don't hear anything else. And I'm like, hey, I'm in the bathtub, I'll be out in a minute. Just wait for me in the living room, whatever. So I start to get out, I start to get ready, and then I hear his truck again. And I'm like, what? I don't understand. Like, what? Okay, that's weird. And I'm like, whatever, I'm, getting ready, getting dressed, whatever. And like, I hear the screen door chunk, chunk, like, I don't know, whatever noise that makes. And I literally hear him boom, 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 walk up the steps. And I'm like, a little weirded out, but I kind of yell out the same thing, like, hey, like, wait for me in the living room, like, I'll be out, whatever. So as I'm getting ready, I sort of put that out of my head because like I'm focused on like getting ready. And I go out to the living room. I'm like, hey,
why are you letting people?
Thanks for, I'm so happy to see you, whatever.
Letting people in your house like that.
And I was like, hey, weird question. When you got here, was the door closed? Like the, actual door, not the screen door. I'm like, was the actual back door closed? He was like, no, it was open. I just had to open the screen door. And my eyes went wide and I had this wave of terror come over me. And I was like, somebody is in the house. We gotta go check. I'll take the downstairs. You check up here, whatever. So I run down the basement steps and I'm checking all the nooks and crannies. I don't see anybody. I hear him upstairs walking around, checking rooms, whatever. So I come padding back up the basement steps and I see him in the hallway and I'm gonna try to like reenact what he looked like. He was like this, like just freaking out, like he looked white, like he couldn't talk. And I'm like, what did you find? Like, what's going on? And he's like, I where were you? And I was like, I was in the basement. He was like, the whole time you were in the basement. You just came up. I'm like, yes, what is going on? He goes, I just saw you walk into your bedroom and I thought it would be funny to come up from behind you and scare you. I saw you crouch down as if you were looking under the bed for something or somebody, because we were checking for intruders. He goes, I saw you crouch down and I started to come up like to scare you. Then I hear you walking up the basement steps. My head turns, I turn back. The you that I saw is gone and now you're here. And what the hell just happened? And so we were actually really freaked out. Like we were so creeped out. And then I proceed to tell him about, I heard your truck, like driving around my house, come up the driveway. I heard the doorknob go and the door open. What? And then I heard you again. I heard you arrive again. Whatever, it was like 3 or 4 minutes after that, in between the arrival of the first, I don't know, doppelganger. I don't know.
That's crazy.
And then when he actually arrived, and we actually slept in the living room that night because we were so freaked out, not only by me hearing him arrive, but he actually didn't arrive, and then him seeing my doppelganger. We were freaked. We were freaked. So that's my my glitch in the matrix story. I've never had anything happen like that since, and I had never had anything happen like that before. It was just weird.
So that right there is pretty startling. I see things and I feel things. I hear things from time to time, but nothing along that level. And it seems like this has been happening to people often. Well, I wouldn't say often. This has been happening to people, random people, and this seems to be happening in the world often. Now, that is a little creepy. I ain't even gonna hold you. If something like that happened to me, I'd just be like, okay, CERN's playing with that Collider hider again. Like, fuck it. They making atoms crash against each other. They're shifting timelines. They're putting us in different timelines. I remember when I was in Washington State, I looked out of the window at I think it was 4 o'clock in the morning. The sky was a pink and a purple. The sky was changing between pink, purple, and green. And I was like, what the heck? And this is before I learned about CERN. This was back in like 2022, 2021, 2022. And I was like, yo, what the heck is crap? I was like, what's going on right now? I think it was in 2022. Yeah, it was in 2022. And that blew my mind. I remember messaging my wife and told her, I was like, yo, babe, I was like, this, I had messaged her. She was still asleep because I didn't want to wake her up. I was like, yo, the sky is turning pink, pink, green, and purple. And then it was crazy because later on that day, one of the transformers had blown, so it was a loud "Bah!" And I was like, "What the heck?" Dogs were barking in the house and everything. It was crazy. But yeah, I'm like, stuff is getting weird out there for real. But I'm gonna go ahead and end this video real quick. And if you like this type of stuff, please like, comment, subscribe. Let's go ahead and put me up on the algorithm because I do things a little different. I like to play games while at the same time doing my reactions. I like to talk about these things, but also bring a different change to it. There's a lot of individuals who want to do reactions. I don't do just reactions. I want to go ahead and talk about solutions. And that right there is on my other channel, Divine Time Talks That Need to Be Had, which on Sundays, which I'm going to be doing here shortly, I have conversations with my mom. And from time to time, I'll end up having some of the family members on and everything. But this channel right here is Indie Family. I will personally be on here doing reactions and playing games with the kids, or either once I reach 500 subscribers on Indie Family, I'm gonna start vlogging because everybody says that, yo, the way that we are, it could be a TV show. So I'll actually start making it a TV show so y'all can see how we interact and the things that we do. It's crazy. I mean, you'll be able to see the good, the bad, the ugly, and majority of the stuff is just comical. My kids are freaking amazing. I love them to death. I love my kids to death. They make life worth living. They make life worth living. There's a lot of things that they say and that they do where I'm just like, you're awesome. But then again, if you like dogs too, we got the dogs, and I'm constantly always cuddling up with them. Which, matter of fact, I'm gonna go downstairs real quick and cuddle up with them, and right now, and then